I'm so excited to be back in South Africa, one of my favorite countries. The conservation center I liked the most was the Wolf Sanctuary.
Hi girls, welcome to the Tsitsikamma Wolf Sanctuary. Are you guys excited to see some wolves?
Yeah.
Let's go!
The sanctuary has provided care for 500 wolves and wolf dogs.
She's so beautiful. What does it mean for you guys to be a sanctuary for wolves?
So a sanctuary means that we are a safe haven. We're a place where we protect and we look after these animals because they're not indigenous to South Africa.
That's why they belong in a sanctuary where they can be safe and protected.
So that over there, his name is Ra, and he is 6 years old.
This age.
He's your age. Look how big he is. He's like 4 of you all in one.
His coat is so beautiful.
Yeah, he's got a very interesting color. It's a golden color, so we named him Ra. Do you know who Ra was?
Sun god of Egypt.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we named him after the sun god. So the only wolf dog we have on the sanctuary is Sahara over there. All the other wolves we have, all 25 of them, are grey wolves. Yeah. So grey wolves are indigenous to the whole northern hemisphere.
It's not good for them or the ecosystem for them to be in Africa.
They're an exotic species in South Africa. That means they don't belong here.
These are wild animals. They should never be kept in a home.
If the wolves are not from South Africa, then why are they here?
That's a really good question. So what happened is, many years ago, some people thought it was a really good idea to bring some wolves into South Africa from North America. And they thought that they could breed with them and cross them with dogs and create a very powerful animal that could protect people.
They ended up in private hands. Not good.
And that didn't really work out so well because wolves are wild animals. But what happened is those wolves stayed in South Africa and some people kept breeding with them.
The program failed, and there were all these wolves that couldn't be taken back to Canada.
So lots of people are breeding wolves in South Africa. Unfortunately, it's legal to breed wolves in South Africa if you have a permit.
Wolves are not pets.
And so, when people then have them as pets, then they end up at the sanctuary. And so, yeah, it's not a very nice story, but that's how they got to South Africa in the first place.
Who thought this was a good idea?
And because all of these wolves were born in South Africa, we can't send them back to the place that they originally came from because they're technically South African and they can't survive in the wild. So we look after them and we protect them as best we can, and our goal is to educate people, especially in South Africa, to not have wild animals as pets. It's not a good idea, guys.
The people who run the sanctuary offer them so much care.
They spend a lot of the hot days sleeping, and then they're very, very active at night. Do you guys know what it means when an animal is active at night? Nocturnal, very good. So wolves are mainly nocturnal, but in the winter time, because it's not so hot during the day, they actually can be very active as well.
They try to make their home similar like what they would have in nature.
Their main source of communication is what? Do you know?
Howling?
Howling, exactly, because howling can travel for many, many kilometers, and that's how they can communicate to other wolves.
Wow, there's a fun fact.
You know what's cool is that Sahara, our wolf dog, when she barks, all of the wolves ignore her. They don't respond. I think that because she's a dog, it's a different language, and they can't understand it. But when the wolves howl, she can howl with them. So it's kind of like she's bilingual. Their fur is waterproof, which is really cool. So that's what keeps them warm and dry in the winter. And then most of that waterproof fur falls out in summer, and then they can cool off and get nice and wet.
They have a lot of space and community with other wolves.
Oh, you see that? You see how he pushed himself against the fence for a second?
Yeah.
He was asking for scratches. So some of our friendly wolves, come here. I don't stick my fingers through because he can change his mind at any second.
Yeah.
But some of our friendly wolves, they'll come up to us and they'll push themselves against the fence.
And you do you scratch them?
and then we can scratch them.
You see, they're wild animals.
And in the wild, these wolves would hunt with their pack. They would hunt moose and bison and deer and really big red meat game animals. But we don't have any of those animals in South Africa. So what we do feed them is beef.
I didn't know that.
So we throw over enough meat for each wolf, but they often fight about who's gonna get which piece of meat. Because they can smell that some meat has more fat in it and this one's gonna taste better and I don't want that part of the cow. So then they'll argue quickly. And then whoever's in charge, they're called the alpha, they get to choose first. And then they take their piece of meat and then they run away and hide so that nobody can steal it from them. And then the others have to choose between them.
Incredible.
So they make a lot of noise when they argue. And it sounds like they're hurting each other, but they actually often don't even touch each other. They just kind of shout. They just shout at each other and they growl and they snarl and they show all their teeth and it's very scary. But then they don't do anything else. Baby wolves are called puppies or pups, just like with dogs. And usually, a mom can have anywhere from 1 to 6 puppies in one litter. Yeah. So sometimes she just has one little pup, and sometimes she can have all 6, and that's a lot.
These beautiful animals have behaviors that we respect.
Come here, I'll touch you. Oh, come on. Oh, that's not good. See, I'm standing too close for him. He doesn't like that I'm standing here. And then look at that, look at that, look at that. Now she's just...
The wolf loves her, but not her. I think I just touched a wolf. They are very soft.
All right, girls, thank you so much for coming to the Wolf Sanctuary. I hope you learned so much. Did you have a good time?
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.